From a jammed arena in New York
3, 2, 1.
to watching a rocket blast off with his new government efficiency czar Elon Musk in Texas, Donald Trump is on a victory tour.
Isn't it nice to win? It's nice to win. It's always nice to win.
The president-elect has wasted little time in naming his nominees for key roles in his administration. And if you thought 8 years after his first presidential win, Donald Trump was done shocking Washington, think again.
There is a sense that he will just push this as far as it can possibly go.
Should I do it? I don't care. Should I do it?
This week, Trump picked television's Dr. Mehmet Oz to run the massive Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which covers 1/3 of all Americans. He is just one in the deck of Trump's surprising picks, including Elon Musk for the Department of Government Efficiency, former Fox News host Peter Hegseth for Defense Secretary, vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services, former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence, and scandal-plagued firebrand Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Philip Wallach studies the separation of powers in the U.S. at the American Enterprise Institute.
President Trump says that he thinks the voters gave him a mandate to radically shake up American government and to take on the deep state, and his nominees so far suggest that that's what he wants to do.
Trump just announcing that our own Pete Hegseth will be his Secretary of Defense.
So the question is how many of these nominees could be in for a tough fight in the Senate. Pete Hegseth paid to settle a sexual assault allegation. He's earned support from conservatives for his message that the U.S. military is too woke.
I heard time and time again from leaders, I'm walking on eggshells because I don't know what pronoun. You know, we got transitioning soldiers in our units. I've got a quota I need to meet of a certain number of women and men or a certain number of minorities. What are we doing here?
Tulsi Gabbard is a former Democrat who was criticized for traveling to Syria in 2017 and having a private meeting with Bashar al-Assad.
But Tulsi Gabbard, putting her as the DNI seems to be a particular risk and an unnecessary one as well for this incoming Trump administration.
The nominee to be the Director of National Intelligence views the Ukraine war in Kremlin terms, that the U.S. and the West are largely to blame.
What we're seeing play out now is essentially a proxy war. U.S. is engaging in a proxy war with Russia using Ukraine.
There's certainly a deep bench of individuals they could have gone to with entirely credible and professional backgrounds in intelligence. But Donald Trump doesn't want those kinds of individuals because he doesn't trust the intelligence community.
Then there's Matt Gaetz, nominated for Attorney General. Perhaps no Republican has shown more loyalty to Donald Trump, and no cabinet pick has attracted more controversy.
We are on a mission to rescue and save this country, and we ride or die with Donald John Trump to the end.
Matt Gaetz is a flamethrower. He is a chaos agent, and that's what Donald Trump wants. He wants someone who's going to go in there and dismantle the existing institutions to reframe it around how Donald Trump views lawyers and how he views the role of prosecutors when he's in power.
But Matt Gaetz is carrying a lot of baggage. He's been investigated by the U.S. Congress on allegations of helping to sex traffic an underage girl and illegal drug use. Gaetz has denied the allegations, but he resigned from Congress on the same day he was nominated by Trump. Now the report on the investigation may never be released.
We don't issue investigations and ethics reports on people who are not members of Congress. I'm afraid that that would open a Pandora's box.
Trump is standing by his pick to run the Department of Justice, but Philip Wallach believes that may not be enough.
Gaetz has spent most of his career in Congress talking about how his colleagues are part of a corrupt uniparty, right, who are selling out the American people. So he's made a lot of enemies on Capitol Hill, and that means there's a lot of Republicans who are not happy and don't really want to see this go through.
There needs to be legitimate vetting.
The lines over final approval in the Senate are already being drawn. And for any Republican senators that might be wavering, Trump's most loyal supporters have a message.
Vote with President Trump. This is the last chance we're going to have of saving this country. And if you want to get in the way, fine. But we're going to try to get you out of the Senate, too, if you try to do that.
Most nominations will likely be rubber-stamped by the Republican majority Senate early next year. Trump could try to avoid confirmation hearings with recess appointments if the Senate adjourns.
RFK Jr.
That would be unprecedented in the country's history. I think there's a number of Republican senators who just are not going to be interested in that kind of maneuver.
He's not even back in office yet, but Bradley Moss says Trump is already shaking Washington's political and security establishment.
Donald Trump lives for chaos. He gets bored in simple, doldrums of the day-to-day. Only thing we know is that it's going to be a lot of chaos while we see this play out.